feel it's a wonderful occasion and to have Shri Kailash Satyakri ji and his tireless work and the first Nobel laureate for India. And this is not just his first visit. He has been a couple of times to Chennai. Whenever he comes, someone who comes to as much as possible to the colleges. I think today we could see a lot of college owners who have come, so to the most of the colleges he has come. But today is a special occasion that the movie which you have seen, so that is something which is very, very special, where many could see what is the hard work which he has undergone. So can we all give a big round of applause? Shabul. Rather, I would welcome Shri Kamal Haasan sir, who will be a visionary leader which Tamil Nadu looking for. And any social causes comes, the first call I make to Dr. Regina Madam. So she was always kind enough to accept and support. I thank and I welcome Regina Madam. And there are many people who have come on this occasion, and there is an award which is also going to be happen. And I want to welcome Amuda Madam, who has been a big inspiration to many of us, and she has come all the way from Dehradun. And thank you so much, ma'am. I welcome you, and I welcome Kritika Udyanidhi Madam, who has been a good friend and been supporting a lot of environmental and social causes, and Dr. Manorama Madam, and Mike Muralidharan sir, and many.
We have to take an example in each one of our life to see that at least we save our environment, what is happening around us. This is what we are trying to educate a lot of people through our social service. And here we are now, we're going to inaugurate a very small community center in which we are going to educate our environment about how kids can be kept under our control of each schools. We can teach the kids who's good, who's bad, who's good touch, who's bad touch. So it is our duty of the schools and colleges to teach the kids how our surroundings and our communities should be there for this world. So we are going to inaugurate each community center in the schools possible, which is nearby, and in colleges and in some apartments which we are going to tie up, and going to start community centers which will be open 24/7, where students of schools who find it difficult to go approach their parents, who are not able to let out things which is happening in their surroundings, can go into these community centers. There will be a lot of seminars, lectures from a lot of psychologists, a lot of doctors, legal teams, who will be in intact with the community and telling them what and when the actions can be taken. So we are trying to set up toll-free centers also, where parents and kids can call up. Immediate actions will be taken by colleges or schools who are involved in these community centers. Thank you so much, and you've been an inspiration for us to start such activity, and with your blessings I think it will be great. Thank you so much.
Regina here, and the press and ladies and gentlemen who have come here to celebrate what we often complain about. We don't have leaders. Here's one. But unfortunately, because of the ills that ail our country, we need more such people for every vertical with the same dedication that he has gone about doing his duty. It's not a job, he's not paid for it, it's his duty, it's life's purpose. These are heroes we should celebrate. It is with the same tenacity of purpose that Mr. Satyakri has embarked upon his call for duty that I have gone into politics. I have the same anger. I mean, the quality of opponents in no way is higher than the quality your opponents, Mr. Satyarthi, met in the circus. Only thing is, mine is a bigger circus. And I have dared to go into this only because of people like Mr. Satyarthi. He has egged on many people to emulate. I don't like inimitable, difficult act to follow. Great deeds should be imitable. And his great deed is imitable. It's not something you shrug your shoulder and say, well, this is beyond me. Great deeds is something that makes you feel guilty. If he can do it, I can do it. But why did I not think or do it? That guilt will drive us towards a better society. I'm very sure, like me, all of you in this auditorium were moved. There were no great background music, no sudden fast cuts, sweeping vistas for us to get, and not even beautiful dialogues to punctuate the emotion. Some of them, you couldn't even see the tears because the lighting was very natural and not lit to enhance or tear jerk. But by the end of your experience, you remember Sujit, you remember Karim, and you can almost recognize Karim's father by the look in the face. The DNA shows. I won't need an ID, but the police would demand an ID. But you can see that it's father and son. And the steep climb that Mr. Satyarthi has achieved is as great as scaling Everest. For he has to work with something worse than gravity, which is the law itself going against his lawful activity, which is very difficult. I was curious to ask him many questions, but I wanted to see the film, so I didn't ask him so many. I will. And the difficulty of even conducting the raids is that you are moving with the hyenas to hunt, and you don't want anything dead, you want them alive, and it's very difficult and very dangerous. And as my friend Karthik said, many have invented stuff, calculated and conceived to get the Nobel Prize. But our hero here has taken beatings, insults, and has still managed to do what he wanted to do. And I thank the Nobel League for respecting a man who deserves it. And there's another thing, I've never regretted some of the chances I missed in movies. I truly regret not being able to finish Maradanayagam. But there was an opportunity for me to play Mr. Satyarthi. It was supposed to be made as a film. It didn't fructify. That I regret, because to play a true hero like him would have been a privilege. But I have the equal pleasure of telling my children and my party men, please do not deify them. Look at his simplicity. He's not playing God, he's just playing man. And that's what we should emulate, and we should never ever forget to salute such deeds. And that is why I'm here. Thank you.
So, friends, I refuse to accept that we cannot end child slavery. When I was receiving the Nobel Peace Prize, normally I'm not used to read. The Nobel Committee said that you have to send a written statement because it would be used for researches and so many other things. So I prepared some notes, but standing on the dais, I lost the papers. So everybody was nervous, king, queen of Norway, prime minister. And I was told that Nobel Peace acceptance speech is the second largest watched episode. And the first on the top is the FIFA Football World Cup final. So I was satisfied that I am standing on the second. But losing your papers, what would you do? I smiled. I was more comfortable. I remembered a story which I read in my childhood. Suddenly came to my mind. I told them there was a heavy fire broken out in jungle. All animals and birds were rushing out for a safer place, including King Lion. Then Lion noticed that there was a tiny hummingbird flying straight towards the fire. He was shocked and he shouted, "What are you doing?" "Committing suicide." The bird said, "No, sir, I am going to extinguish this fire because I was born and grew up in this jungle." Lion again shouted, "How come? How would you do it?" She answered, "Look at my beak. I am carrying a drop of water. I am carrying a drop of water and I am doing my bit. The rest is the history." I told those people, I told the whole world, 1 billion people watch it that day, which is live on CNN, BBC, and almost all channels in the world. I told that this is my story. This is my philosophy, this is my life. I never bothered, I never cared. I never invested, forget about money because I didn't have money after giving up my career as an electrical engineer. But I never invested one single